Hello! This is Griff in humble Redwoods State Park. And guess what? This is our centennial anniversary year. 100 years. This is our birthday. Happy birthday, humble Redwoods State Park. And this Saturday, 10 a.m., right here on this page, we're going to be interviewing Save the Redwood League's president and CEO, Sam Hodder. And the reason why that's so incredibly epic, because Sam's a cool guy, but also because Save the Redwood League saved, along with women's groups in Eureka, saved this park and started the state park system. And just tune in, 10 a.m. this coming Saturday. And be prepared to check out other cool speakers, because the last Saturday every month, we're going to have very, very cool speakers, including Reed Noss. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. And the Wassermans and awesome bio. You'll see. It's going to be really cool. But I just came on to say hello today and to tell you guys that I spit into a little vial and sent it to a lab, and then they sent me back a report and told me what percentages of ethnicities I am and some health stuff. You guys heard about that? I did it because I'm not planning on committing any crimes going forward in life, and so I just went ahead and gave them my DT. I figured they had it anyways, you know what I'm saying? Because I have lost a lot of hair. I mean, because I have so much long hair wrapped up in my hat that I'm sure they found a strand by now, so I just don't even care. And you know what? There was no major surprises that came back. No major surprises. But I did meet some second cousins, and that was really cool. And maybe if you're not afraid of leaking your DNA, you should check it out, because I met a couple cousins who I really like. But today, I want to introduce my closest relative by weight. And that is, you're like, an elephant? A hippopotamus? No, that is the Ill River. The Ill River is my closest relative by weight. How is that so, you're asking? Well, I drink Ill River water, and 65% of me or more is made up of water. So I am 65% Ill River, because I drink out of a spring that goes into the Ill River. I'm Ill River, okay? And so are these incredibly tall redwood trees, okay? These are also Ill River, because they're drinking the Ill River. And some of these trees are 1,000 years old. They're my relatives because we both got the Ill River in us. And they're also my ancestors because they're over 1,000 years old. The elders. I'm among my elder relatives. I just saw some mountain lion tracks a little while ago, and it was drinking out of this river. And I realized I have a water cousin who is a mountain lion, and a salmon, and a raccoon, and a coyote, and a bald eagle. How cool is that? Have you ever thought about where your water comes from and how sacred it is and how it is actually your closest relative by weight? Isn't that crazy to think about? Luckily, my closest relative is a federally designated wild and scenic river. The Ill River is federally designated wild and scenic river, which means we can't put any more dams on it. There's already 2. And we can't destroy its scenic, cultural, recreational, and hopefully biodiversal, is that a word? It's ecological values, okay? And most, like I think 70% of Americans or 60% of Americans get their water from rivers. So it means most of us are related to the rivers in our area. So all rivers should be designated wild and scenic, right? Whenever a raindrop falls, see there's a mountain way back there. Whenever a raindrop falls on there, that mountain sheds that water off. It's like, get off me. And that water drop comes into the Ill River. So that's why all the land that drains into the Ill River is called the Ill River watershed. And this is the 3rd largest watershed in California. And home to a bunch of really cool relatives of mine, like bears and mountain lions and stuff. So I want you guys to think about water a little bit differently. And water is a crazy, crazy substance. It's the only substance that comes in all 3 forms on the planet: solid, liquid, and gas. It's the only one. Water's crazy. Super, super interesting. And we should protect it because it flows in all of us. And recently, something really scary happened in Florida. Somebody hacked into a water facility's online monitoring system and increased the levels of lye by like 100% or something crazy. Luckily, someone was on their game in Florida and caught it. Whoever that employee was better at least got employee of the month. For real. And a Christmas bonus. something, a blue ribbon, something, because they saved a lot of people's lives. Because poison water means a poison people. And when our rivers are degraded, like so many of them are, that's going in our bodies because we are rivers. I am Ill River. And you think about all of all of us have an indigenous connection. Some of them's way farther back than others. So I'm Celtic, and my Celtic ancestors believed that water was sacred. Almost all indigenous people do or did. Okay? And they were right, because this is our main relative by weight. Let me read something to you. Well, before I get into that, listen, people, can you just like tweak your definition of sterile? Sterile's not good when it comes to water. I want sterile water. Well, you don't want Giardia in your water. You don't want pollutants in your water. But you want, if I came to the Ill River and there was no caddisflies and mayflies and snails and fish in there, I wouldn't get in. I'd be like, that water's poison. Don't get in. I want to see, nature should never be sterile. I want to see things swimming in my drinking water. Seriously. If there's no life in the river, I'm not drinking that water. I'm not getting into that water. Okay? I don't get into pools either, folks. I mean, I take it pretty far, but because also pools are just giant toilet bowls with chlorine in them. I ain't swimming in that. But this river has life in it, and we need to protect that life because they're our cousins, but also they're indicators of our own health because we have the river flowing through us. Okay, let me just show you. There's some really cool images on there. Shows how much water we are. You're like, I thought we were 87% water. So did I. But men are 65% water and women are 60% water. And then it shows you all the organs, how much water they have in them. We need water every day, folks. Thank you, Lori. We need water every day. So let me read you this. So if you're tuning in from Seattle, your closest relative are the Cedar and Tolt rivers. And the water in the forest around in that watershed where the mountains shed the water towards those two rivers, they're cleaning the water for you. So that's your closest relative. Okay? New York, your closest relative is the Delaware River. If you're in Minnesota's Twin Cities, those 3.2 million people, you guys are all related to the Mississippi River. There's a lot of people related to the Mississippi River. Atlanta, you guys are related to your closest relative by weight is the Chattahoochee and the Flint Rivers. I wish my name was Chattahoochee. I just love that word, Chattahoochee. There's some words that are really mouthy and you just want to say. And then the Colorado River sustains 36 million people across 7 states from Denver to Los Angeles. Y'all's closest relative, 36 million of you, are related via the Colorado River. Do me a favor, I have an assignment for you. Find out where your water comes from. Go introduce yourself to it. You shouldn't have a relative so close to you and have never introduced yourself. Go introduce yourself. Maybe it's a river, maybe it's groundwater. If it says surface water is like a creek or a river. And go introduce and thank that river for being your closest relative and the essence that flows through your entire body. And treat it and love it like it's your closest relative.